Ballon d'Or and Don Hutchinson. Oh, he'll be loving it. Yeah, that's true. That's all the Man U manager. Oh, do you remember those days? Everyone's smiling, everyone's happy.
I'm presuming that's incorporating last year as well.
Of course it is, yeah.
So you got that new manager bounce, otherwise that would have been closer to 10%. It's not a surprise. There are lots of deficiencies at United, of course there is. I think one being the ownership, two being the chief executive, three being the structure of the football department at the moment, the playing staff, and then lastly, but not leastly, but not wholly to blame, is the manager.
If you're Ed Woodward, do you pick up the phone this evening and ring Pochettino?
Well, that's the problem, is that, when I said it last week, is the longer United sit in their hands and say, we're going in this direction and we're quite happy and we've got transfer windows coming up, the managers out there that are free, and I'm thinking about Pochettino, Allegri and others, are going to maybe waltz into other big jobs. And so I think United should go out and try and get something on paper or an agreement with Pochettino.
Shouldn't be that difficult, should it?
Well,
Pochettino's available. Manchester United is a massive job. If you want him, you go get him, get it done.
Absolutely, but I think it was Julian on the show when Pochettino was first fired, saying that there was some suggestion that he had a clause in his contract that he couldn't sign for a Premier League club during the course of this season. Even so, if I'm Ed Woodward, even if that clause does exist, I'm making contact. And if I'm involved with Manchester United, either at board or as a fan, I am disappointed if my chief exec hasn't at least made contact with Pochettino at this point to at least sound out the possibilities.
Gab, is there a scenario in which Ed Woodward could call Pochettino tonight?
Yeah, I mean, as long as he has his number, there's no reason he couldn't call him. Then you can. No, but joking aside, then you look forward, whether it's the summer or whatever else. It is possible that such a clause exists, but often that can be mitigated with Pochettino giving some of his severance back, which United wouldn't mind doing because it would be a lot less than what it would have cost to get him out of his Spurs contract initially. But look, I think the broader message here is Solskjaer is performing like what you expect Solskjaer to perform with these players. In other words, a very average manager. But beyond that, let's not forget what happened in the summer and the kind of transfer window they had.
It was also a 2-2 draw at Carroll Road between Norwich City and Arsenal. Of course, the first game post Unai Emery. No difference, really, was that correct?
They're another club that's really just sailing in the wind at the moment in whatever way it goes. And they're another club that has to find a top-level manager to try and take them forward because, you know, there's no point saying, well, Lundberg's going to take us to the end of the season, possibly, and they've got some big decisions to make.
Greg used that phrase, new manager bounce. It wasn't really evident, was it?
No, it wasn't. And I think it speaks to the deficiencies of this Arsenal team. I mean, as much as you may hope for Arsenal going forward, thank goodness for Aubameyang, you look at Arsenal defensively, and still, I mean, just the lack of basics. In both goals, look, Pukki and Cantwell, nobody is within touching distance of either of them until they're 8 yards from goal. Even as the players built up through midfield. And as a Premier League team, playing football at the highest level, you just can't do that. That's basics that you just cannot get away with. And I'm amazed that Arsenal continue to...
VAR has been a little frustrating, or a lot frustrating in some facets of it. However, getting it correct is not one of them. And clearly, the law states if a player encroaches and then has a material effect, i.e. the ball being cleared, then VAR is within its rights to take it back. So no, I don't have a problem with getting it correct, basically.
Yeah.
Which is the whole premise of video-assisted referees and technology in the first place, unless I'm wrong.
It seems strange, doesn't it? VAR gets something right, and people are still angry.
It's a sad state of affairs where VAR gets it right and does it quickly, yet we still have every reason, people have reason to complain. It's beyond me. It's about as best I can put it.
It looked like all the games were going to finish in draws today, but a late winner for Leicester City puts them 3 ahead now of Manchester City, 8 back from Liverpool with that late win against Everton. It had a smidge of controversy in this one as well. Iheanacho with the goal. Take a look at the linesman. Flag goes up. Obviously, they play on. Iheanacho scores. VAR takes a look and says, no, actually, the Leicester City striker is onside. The goal is given.
Well, first and foremost, he is onside. It's a really tight call. He's onside. So that's video technology doing, and the assistant referee doing their job 100% correct. What it did, it gave Leicester City, a team that's in great form, and the team closest to chasing Liverpool, it gave them a hugely important 3 points by getting a decision correct. So where's the issue? Where is the issue?
It's ruining the game, Craig. It's too slow.
How is getting? By the way, the other side is the assistant referee. And I think it's instinct.
Yeah,
he should have kept his flag down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't castigate them for that because the instinct for them over the years is to put the flag up. It's difficult to get out of that. However, here we have an excellent goal right in the death and injury time that has taken a team on to 3 points, and the technology has got it absolutely spot on. And yet, it's ruining the game. You tell me how that works.
Gab, you live in the UK. You hate VAR.
Yeah, I absolutely loathe it. But Craig, what about frame rates? What about the fact that you can't be sure that you get it? It's all nonsense. The reality is, being an assistant in those type calls is really, really difficult. He put his flag up. He could have kept his flag down. He has to make a call in no time flat. And this is why VAR was introduced. And these are objective decisions. And he got it correct. And, you know, all the times people have gotten angry over this when they talk about, you know, the armpit or whatever else, it's because, frankly, they don't know the rules that have been around since 2005 that you can score with any part of your body. Thankfully, this one was even clear, and I think we got the right decision and the right outcome.
There is a bonus round of Premier League matches.